All right, let's dive right into the legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, because it has just taken a really dramatic turn. And it all comes down to a brand new court ruling. So let's break it all down. We're going to start with what is probably the most critical piece of this whole puzzle, a direct quote from the federal judge in his ruling. I mean, listen to that. He's literally questioning the entire foundation of the case. This one move could honestly change everything we thought we knew about this whole situation.
So you can imagine, this ruling is being seen everywhere as a huge victory for Justin Baldoni and his production company, Wayfarer. And it's a big deal because it really validates a key part of their entire legal strategy.
Okay, but to really understand why this is so important, we have to look at a separate lawsuit that's been happening in the background. This is where that judge's ruling actually came from, and believe me, it's sending some serious shockwaves through the entire case. So this particular lawsuit, it's not actually between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Instead, it's a countersuit that Baldoni's company, Wayfarer, filed against their own former publicist, a woman named Stephanie Jones. And she is a super key player in how this whole story first broke. So Wayfarer is alleging that Jones knowingly spread false stories about harassment and a smear campaign while she was still on their payroll. And here's the absolute key takeaway from all this. The judge has decided that, yeah, these claims are serious enough to go to a full trial. And this is where the spin just gets so interesting. You have Jones's lawyer telling TMZ that this ruling is an overwhelming win for her. But at the exact same time, you have the media, we're talking the New York Post, even TMZ itself, running headlines calling it a clear victory for Baldoni. It is a classic battle to control the public narrative playing out in real time. But look, this ruling isn't just about winning a single motion in court. It's really about what it unlocks. And this brings us to one of the most powerful tools you can get in any high-stakes lawsuit. Because that case against Jones is moving forward, Baldoni's legal team can now officially kick off the discovery phase. And what does that mean? It means they can legally demand access to all communications related to this case. We're talking text messages, emails, phone records, you name it, between all the different people involved. It's a game changer. And yeah, Baldoni's team is not being subtle at all about what they're hoping to find. A spokesperson for them came right out and said they're confident this process is going to expose exactly how the harassment and smear campaign narratives were, in their words, manufactured. But that's not all. In a related but totally different move, the judge also sided with Baldoni's team on another issue, a literal mountain of paperwork that just happened to show up right before a critical deadline. So get this. Just as these pretrial deadlines were coming up, Lively's legal team filed over 1,000 pages of new documents. Baldoni's side immediately argued that this was a strategic document dump. You know, it's a common legal tactic designed to totally overwhelm your opponents so they can't be prepared for trial. And it wasn't just documents. Along with all that paperwork came a list of more than 40 potential witnesses that Lively's team is planning to call. I mean, that just adds a whole other layer of complexity right at the 11th hour. And this is why Baldoni's team was so concerned. The list includes these huge celebrities and even family members like Ryan Reynolds' mother and his niece. It really makes you wonder, what could they possibly testify about that's directly related to what happened on that film set? So in the end, the judge looked at all this and basically agreed it was too much, too late. He overruled Lively's team and granted Baldoni's lawyers an extra week to prepare. It's another small, but definitely significant win for them. So all of these different developments are really setting the stage for what's going to be a critical and probably very revealing next phase as both sides gear up for the main event. So what's next? Well, the parties are all scheduled for a status conference on April 2nd just to get ready, and then the trial itself is tentatively set to start on May 18th. It's coming up fast. And all this leaves us with one giant question, right? Now that the door to discovery has been thrown wide open, what kind of secrets are waiting in all those texts and emails? We don't know yet, but one thing is for sure, the full record is about to get a whole lot more interesting.